Hey, welcome back to the 480 experience. We're live again. Not really. We're all kind of live. And we're talking about Arizona State football. It's finally back. You know, had a disappointing end to last season, but overall, season was great. It's last season.
It was targeting.
The history's rat's poison. Nick Saban's quote.
Yeah, dude. So we're moving on to this new year, and this Arizona State team could maybe be better than last year's team.
It could also very much be worse than last year.
Okay. We're doing an intro here, boss.
Oh, my fault.
Arizona State is ranked number 11 in the preseason top 25. This probably marks the first time them being in the top 25 in however long. We are happy to be a part of the experience, but also very excited to see what this team's identity will be like this year. A lot of retention, guys, and that is per Kenny Dillingham's motive as he focused more with the recruiting approach about retention rather than trying to acquire the biggest and best names. Guys, how do we feel about our excitement going into week one and to the season in general?
Yeah, I feel super excited. I mean, that is Kenny Dillingham's Kenny Dillingham's motto is he wants guys that are bought in, and you know the retention shows that.
Oh my God, how many times did we say buy in last year?
Dude, so much, and clearly it's working. So. We're glad to be back. We're glad to be podcasting again. It's been a long break. We were a little sad that we weren't, making so much content, but we're back, and we're hoping that this season of 480 is even better than last year. So yeah, let's start with it. Let's do our season predictions. We'll purposefully skip over NAU because we will be doing more comprehensive coverage on that. So let's talk about the rematch. Last year, Arizona State took down Mississippi State in a pretty great game, and they're taking them on again, this time at Mississippi State. So what is your predictions for this game?
That is a scary one. I think anytime you're going into a non-conference SEC school this early in the season, I think there's a lot of question marks. Even if you are confident, I think Kenny Dillingham just wants to see how his team performs, how they will respond. But guys, I don't see this as a steamrolling game the way it was last year. I think we might have to come back from behind this time.
Well, if you remember last year, Mississippi State started to make a push there at the end of the game, and Arizona State really had to lock in and protect home field advantage. So let's hope that's not the case this year. I'm, on the other hand, when it comes to Mississippi State, I'm going to say that Arizona State has the tools. They have the experience to not let a lower ranked SEC team come back and make a comeback on them. I think Arizona State has the ability to play with the lead. They've learned a lot from last year, clearly, and they're going to be able to come in and really handle business against Mississippi State. If they don't go in and handle business against Mississippi State, there's some big questions about Arizona State going forward.
No, of course. I mean, I think one of the biggest things, too, when you're taking a look at this Arizona squad is this is going to be a team that's going to be a lot harder to face this year after coming off of what an amazing season you just had. I think, too, there's a lot to look at when you're taking a look at Arizona State's offense again this year. Of course, Cam Scatabo, I mean, he was the main guy that everybody was wanting to look at. He was the guy that helped Arizona State even stay in the Cotton Bowl for that much. And now this team's got a Peach Bowl.
Yeah, so you're good.
Sorry, but they have to bring this new identity to the table on offense. This is not going to be a rush first offense anymore. This is a pass first team. We see Hines Ward talking about Jordan Tyson, talking about Malik McClain finally coming off his redshirt season with ASU. This is a team that's going to really start trying to push downfield more with the pass game. This is going to be a team that relies on Kyson, Ralik on those out routes or those flats. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do against Mississippi State, kind of changing some things up on offense.
Yeah,
but
burning question with Mississippi State. Do we feel like this is a make or break game for the season?
For Arizona State?
Yeah. Because I feel like this is a make or break game, because if we do lose this, we're primed to at least lose one more in the Big 12.
I think any lower tier game, that's what Arizona State is known for, coming in with high expectations and blowing it early on. So I guess in that sense, Mississippi State would be a make or break game, but I think it's just not going to come down to that. I think they're going to handle business in the South, man. I think they got it.
I agree. Mississippi State, too. I mean, I know they're, again, still an SEC school, but again, bottom feeders. This is going to be a team that's not really going to have too much of an identity coming into week 2. And also, too, again, Mississippi State This is a team, guys, we basically manhandled last year. I mean, the second half was a little bit rough. Of course, ASU had a really horrible second half defense. But again, I think this is going to be just another one of those games where we see ASU play against a SEC school.
Yeah, they'll be looking for their second win against an SEC foe. That'll be Saturday, September 6th. Now we move on. Another rematch from last year, this time in Tempe, Texas State. We're taking on them on the 13th. Last year's Texas State game was a nail biter and really one that changed the course of the season for the Sun Devils. After that game, I think it was you, Trevor. You said, I see this team as one that can contend in the Big 12. After you saw what they proved coming down to the wire and really battling in a pretty hard fought game. I think Arizona State is just that much better this year that they're going to be able to handle a Texas State. Plus, some key offseason departures from Texas State makes them a little bit easier than last year.
Yeah, and a key departure from Texas State is actually their star left guard, who is now starting as our left guard. Shout out Jim Mato. But I want to say this. So the make or break or traveling or trying to respond to adversity, I think that's what instills our confidence in covering this team. I think we have to see the proof in front of us in terms of Arizona State actually showing a response to when they're down and downplayed and all cards are counted against them. And that's why I had so much confidence in them after Texas State game. And that is why it's playing into my storyline with Mississippi State maybe being more of a nail biter for them to humble themselves into coming back home. And guys, I love Arizona State home. I can't imagine this team losing at home again this year. So another one where I think this one is going to be a maroon out or a blackout. Whichever the darker colors it is, I think we are going to intimidate this Texas State school. But again, shout out to their coaching staff. I know their head coach is definitely deserving of a different position. I think this is probably his last year in this level.
Yeah. I mean, first in the Sun Belt last year, Texas State has continuously competed. Remember last year how Jordan McLeod was kind of ripping us up, and then Ismail Mahdi, is that how you say his last name?
Mahidi.
He really gave us some trouble.
And now he's on U of A.
He's on U of A this year, so we're gonna have the Sun Devils will have to see him again.
But it's okay. We made him fumble.
Yeah, we made him fumble, but yeah. So Texas State's gonna be a tough one. Have you given your thoughts on it yet?
I think Texas State's going to be a really different team this year. Again, I know they finished first in the SBC. This is a team, though, too, that also lost a lot of core pieces to the transfer portal this year. Over, I believe it was 20-plus people that were starters on this offense have kind of left to the transfer portal. They have a very young core, too, in the wide receiving room right now. A lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen. This is a squad that's really going to have to try to figure out this new team that they have on offense. Again, the transfer portal, every year it seems like more and more guys are leaving teams to go to bigger teams, and that's kind of the look that I get from Texas State. So I think this team will give us a little bit of trouble again this year, but I think Kenny trying to adjust, and now we're giving these rematches back to a guy that just played in his first big debut really as a head coach and showed up for a team and even took them in the college football playoffs. I think this is another instance of Kenny Dillingham showing up, showing everybody that he knows how they play, taking advantage of that, and leading Arizona State to a win. I have them winning this game easily.
There we go. And there you have it. They'll be taking on them the 13th. Now we move on to the next week, and this is the start of Big 12 conference play. Arizona State was really good in conference play last year, but they did leave some easy ones on the table. Will Arizona State do that this year? Trev, what are you thinking about this Baylor game?
I can't believe we are starting our Big 12 expedition on the road. It's almost like it's intentional because being new to the conference, getting acclimated to these Big 12 atmospheres is a real thing. And what a component was to our season last year in terms of what we could probably say is a pretty bad part of the season was that Texas Tech game. And that played into our strength of schedule, that played into the committee's opinion on how good we were in terms of representing our conference. And again, this conference is a bloodbath. It is meant for everyone to beat each other up, and I do see us falling victim to that within our first game of the Big 12, simply because Baylor has so much to prove. This will be in Waco. I do like David Arenada's team this year. His defense is a lot better, and his offense is primed with a lot of experience and buy-in. This Baylor team might be the ASU of this year, so I do see the Sun Devils losing their first Big 12 game with all the hype, all the attention, and dropping out of the top 10, and this is going to be a sour taste for sure.
Okay, so you're already predicting a loss. You have the Sun Devils at 3-1 at this point in the season. I'm gonna differ on that. I think Arizona State is going to roll through their first 3 games, as I just said, and I think they will continue to roll through Baylor. Baylor is going to be a decent squad. This entire Big 12 is going to be pretty good next year. It's going to be a tough conference, even tougher than last year. And we on this podcast thought that the Big 12 was pretty good last year. And so I'm a little nervous for this game. Arizona State is going to be rolling. And, Kenny Dillingham hates complacency. And when you start rattling off wins, especially to start a season, you are going to see a team that may come out complacent. But I don't think that's going to happen at Baylor. I think they're going to be able to handle business against Baylor. And I'll give you my prediction of when I think they're going to stumble in just a few minutes.
And can I also add this as a very necessary input, guys? Baylor, first 2 games of the season, Auburn, and then at SMU.
Yeah.
So their
What a
first 4
start.
games,
Oh my
they had
gosh.
Auburn, SMU, a mediocre non-conference game, and then
Samford.
us.
Yeah.
And then us, guys. So to tell me that
then Kansas State 2 games later.
to tell me that Baylor wants to come out of that outcome better than 2-2, that is probably their dream. They want to get out 3-1. So I do see them potentially losing to SMU, and I see them being hot against ASU.
I mean, I think SMU too. I mean, they still have.
It's a water bottle.
Ashton, are you Ashton Hall now?
No, he's been like
I've
that.
been
You
like
didn't
that.
notice last
No,
year,
I
dude?
guess not.
He was way early on the glass.
show the
water
camera the
bottles.
water bottle.
Mountain Valley, sponsored by
Mountain
Yeah,
Mountain
dude.
Valley.
Mountain
What's the-
Valley's better than
I was
Saratoga.
about to say, what's the one Ashton Hall is? It's
We're
Saratoga,
a
right?
big Mountain Valley podcast.
Yeah.
Please sponsor us.
I was just about to say, please sponsor, please sponsor. No,
I think
but,
I did
yeah.
that. I was like, this video is sponsored by Mountain Valley in a few of my videos last year.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that this Baylor Bears squad is, I think they're quite frankly very overhyped.
Best
for
running
how
back
everybody-
room.
I understand. I
Wide
think
receiver
that's-
room's
I think this
disgusting.
team
Sawyer
is-
Robertson is a top
Agreed,
10
agreed.
quarterback.
I completely, no, whoa.
Top 10 quarterback in
In Big
college
12
or
or
the
college?
or of the 12 teams in the Big 12.
Guys, he might be top 15 in
Crazy
college.
crazy work.
No.
I disagree.
No.
I disagree.
Definitely not.
Wow,
his
wow,
his
wow, wow.
OC coach Johnny Manziel and Geno Smith. His OC
Johnny.
is monumental, and
I-
it's gonna show on in Sawyer's tape this year.
I
and that's why they left the season 6-0 last year.
I still think that Baylor
Acknowledge
is
that,
going
guys.
to be
They're
a
hot.
good squad. I
They
think they still
finish
will
off
be.
the year hot.
I
Sorry,
still
Kai.
think this is going to be a good squad. I just don't see how Baylor is. Everybody is giving Baylor a lot of hype in the Big 12. I understand a lot of people are saying now too, like, oh, we could see ASU, Baylor. People were saying too, Texas Tech, Baylor. I know a lot of people are really high on the Red Raiders this year. People are still doubting ASU. I still think Baylor is going to be a hard squad to beat. Don't get me wrong. This defense is still by far one of the best ones in the Big 12. When you take a look at Baylor's defensive core, secondary is very tough. This is something that ASU was very fortunate about playing them last year. Is they didn't have to go up against this crazy secondary. But I still see that Arizona is going to keep on steamrolling. They're going to keep on trucking. I don't see Arizona State's first loss coming from Baylor, especially a team that is working out every single thing on the road, by the way, for the first couple of games of the season, especially some of the hardest opponents that they'll probably face all year. SMU will be giving them a beatdown. I can see the same thing with Auburn. This is a squad that still does not have a definitive identity. I don't see Baylor being this Big 12 conference championship team that everybody's saying that they're going to be. I am not high on this team, which is why I think ASU still steamrolls to a 4-0 record.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that guy. I actually agree. That's a pretty good take. They will probably end up losing maybe to Auburn and definitely to SMU.
I think they beat Auburn tonight.
There's no way. I
You
don't.
think so?
I disagree.
Because
I
Auburn has
disagree.
Jackson Arnold, the Oklahoma quarterback, and it's a lot of
Okay,
instability.
okay. Let's just set up a
quarterback
scenario here.
My scenario is
say-
I showed you guys my scenario.
Say Baylor loses to Auburn and they lose to SMU.
Yeah, they can't start
They're
1-3.
They're gonna, but they're gonna be demoralized as a team. They're potentially one win away from being out of the running for the Big 12, and it'll be week 4 at that point.
That team doesn't give me the impression that they'd be demoralized. They lost to a Hail Mary last year that changed their season, but they ended it on a 6-0 run.
Game?
No, Colorado.
Oh, that's right.
Colorado.
That's right. That was the one in the
Shador in the rain.
Barely.
With
barely.
LeJontay Webster.
Yeah.
And so that game in itself changed the trajectory of the season. And I don't see this happening again, where Arenado has said on many occasions that this is the best depth he's had in his college coaching career at Baylor. And he's had a 12-2 season with Baylor. This is a good team for him, and he's really confident about it. I just think that with this hard of a schedule, there's no way they start worse than 2-2. They have to be 2-2.
I
Okay,
mean, I don't see
That's
Baylor
their
beating that
floor.
squad.
Their floor is 2-2. Their
I think
ceiling's
it's
3-1.
I think
if they go
I think
4-0,
their
they're on
their
crack.
floor is an
1-3.
0-4. I think it could be 0-4 to start off the
0-4
season.
against Samford.
I mean, sorry, I forget.
1-3,
that that's
1-3,
the-
1-3
1-3
is their floor.
1-3 is their floor.
That
ASU,
is terrible.
SMU,
Their
but
ceiling
it's
is
just
2-2.
as
They're a
possible.
good school. They'll
It's
be
just as
2-2.
possible.
Their floor is 2-2.
Bad take. Bad take.
2-2
Bad
Baylor.
take.
That's the floor, guys. Get out of Waco.
It's a bad
2-2.
take. I don't think that Waco is not a hard place to play.
What?
The Baylor
can say
Bears
this-
Stadium is not a hard place to play. Everybody
You
makes
speak
Waco,
from
Texas
experience,
out.
Kai?
No,
Yeah, have you
I'm just
played
saying-
there?
No, I'm just
you know
saying,
Waco?
You
know
in
Lubbock,
college
right?
football,
Lubbock
the
last
stadium
year.
pulse is not that
All
bad.
we heard about Lubbock last year was tortillas, and look what we did in Lubbock. We looked terrible.
Looked
Yeah,
horrible.
well, because Texas Tech is way different than Baylor.
No, they're
You
not. They're
go
pretty
into
similar.
Lubbock, it's a
Remember
way
They're
when we
worse
actually
to
an
play.
hour away from each
I
other.
get
They're
it,
pretty
but
remember.
Lubbock
similar.
is way worse of a place to play.
Do you remember when we were still calling it Lubbock,
Yeah,
Texas?
Lubbock.
Yeah.
And then the broadcast
Hey, at
starts.
least we're not saying wacko.
Wacko,
Texas,
Wacko,
guys.
Texas. No, I think it's whack for us to be saying that Baylor is going to take down Arizona State at home.
And
where
I think it's
a
whack
stadium
to
that's not
assume that
placed-
their floor is 1-3 as
I
a
don't
really
think
good
so at
team,
all.
really
You're
good
going-
I
quarterback.
don't think that's
You're going
crazy,
up
man.
against
They're
two
going
of the
against
top-
good
dude,
teams.
You're going up
And they're a
against two
good
of the
team as
top
well.
20 schools in the nation. SMU almost hasn't
They
lost
have talent.
anybody. Completely revamped their transfer portal acquisitions. They will lose to SMU. Auburn's a
they
team that
will
will
lose to
absolutely
SMU.
steamroll. And I see Arizona State, Sam Levitt, Malik McLean, Jordan Tyson. I'm listening to Hines Ward in this spot saying that, hey, look, I'm going to put all my chips on the table. This is going to be a wide receiving room that competes, contends. And I see it happening against Baylor. Secondary's not
I
able to
love
keep up.
this. Baylor's going to prove you guys wrong.
No,
Bro,
I
you're
think
rooting
I think
against. Okay,
I'm not
We're
rooting
hey,
against
we got
them.
we got to move on.
Bad
In the-
wagon.
root
in the
against the
case
Sun
of
Devils.
time,
I'm fine.
In the case of time, we will move on to TCU. And this is where I think Arizona State stumbles a little bit for the first time this season.
At
I understand
home?
it's a home game.
What?
I knew that's the first thing you were going to say.
Family night? Or
No,
probably.
no, no, no,
No,
no,
it's
no,
not.
no.
Family night's
Houston.
against Houston.
It's against Houston.
Okay.
Me and my dad got tickets.
Yeah, I got tickets as well. But TCU, one of the better, quarterbacks in all of the Big 12. Not quite.
And they
Not,
lost all their skilled players
Isn't he
except
a
for one
furry?
guy, Eric McAllister.
is he a furry?
Did you guys not see that?
No.
The Josh Hoover thing? Oh my gosh, let me show you guys.
Okay. Eric McAllister is their only weapon. I am not believing the Sonny Dykes hype is going to outweigh ASU's momentum in Tempe. We are like a train.
Momentum, they'd be coming off a Baylor loss, in your opinion. What momentum would they have? Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
okay,
the momentum
for
of
anybody-
proving everyone
So,
wrong again.
Can I tell the story on Josh Hoover?
Yeah, show the picture.
So Josh Hoover, for reference, everybody, there was a photo posted on Josh Hoover's Instagram page a little bit ago. I'll show the camera real quick. Hold up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in focus.
It might.
Might not.
I'll just put it up. I'll just have it pop
We'll throw
up.
up a graphic. But so the thing behind it is Josh Hoover posted on Instagram that he was at a furry convention and the caption to it was "hanging with my friends." And apparently Josh Hoover never really came out with a statement denying the claim. But also a lot of people speculate that he got hacked. His Instagram was, whatever. Someone hacked it, messed with him. And with Josh Hoover not coming out with a statement, I think it is true. But also, like, who am I to judge? Like, do what you want to
Okay.
do. But also,
Guys,
This is like not
he
something to
balled.
do.
Also, like, remember exactly what happened with when BYU came to town at ASU? I can't imagine what it's going to be like when Josh Hoover comes to town, which
man.
is why I think ASU gets Josh Hoover, and I think this is a completely different game because of that scenario. Give me Arizona State to win against TCU specifically because of this.
So
I
you have
don't
us-
see ASU losing
You have
this game.
us undefeated at this point.
Yes, but next week.
This is
next
just
week's
this
a
is
different
just such
story.
a snotty matchup. TCU versus ASU. So snotty. So snotty, guys. We got to have a game day in this season. So there's no way TCU is going to represent the Big 12 this year. I think they are a middle tier Big 12 team.
If that.
This is a W on the marks.
I
We are
agree.
going to stomp that bus with the Horned Frogs, and we're going to do this to them the entire morning or entire afternoon, whatever it is. But this is the Horned
that their-
Frogs.
It's a Fox game at 6 p.m.
That's not what it is.
Yeah, it's like this. The Horned Frogs.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, it is.
stupidest
That's how
thing.
they do it. The Horned
TCU, that
Frogs.
sucks. Whatever,
The
whatever
Horned
that
Frogs.
is, TCU.
That's all they do, bro.
Yeah, it's horrible. That's horrible. All right, so you're predicting a win. You're predicting a win.
I do.
So you have them undefeated.
You're
We-
4-1. We're 4-1.
We're both 4-1. Different losses though. Well, let's move on to Utah. I think this is a game Arizona State should win. But Kai, what are you thinking?
I think that this is the first L of ASU schedule. I think that Utah isn't going to be that great of a team. This is not what I'm saying. I think that this is going to be one of those games ASU just stumbles on. It's one of those trap games that everybody knows it's bound to happen during a season. I think it comes by way of Utah. I think ASU also is in the top 10 at this point of the season. And I see Utah coming out swinging. This is going to be a squad that's really going to try to rely on
We'd
the
be
veteran
top
presence
5, bro.
of the offense.
We'd be 5-0. We'd be top 5.
I can no. and
So
I-
you
Yeah,
would
with the
have
win against
Utah
Baylor.
flooding. You'd have Utah flooding the field against the number 5th or number 6th Arizona State Sun Devils.
I agree, and
That
I
is heartbreaking.
Unfortunately, I just think it's going to be one of those games
Against Utah?
I know.
After
I
what we
know.
did to them last year?
I know, but I think that
What
this
we
is going,
did to them, it was like a nail biter. It came down to the wire.
We played them the way they played us, and we
Okay.
had Sam Levitt injured for a little
That
bit.
is true. We had Jeff Sims out
and
there.
I
It was
just-
a grinding out game, and we were gonna win it like that. We
I
wanted
just-
to.
I just think that Utah is going to be this team that has a profound identity in this game, and because ASU's on the road for this, right? I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I just see that Utah being at home, they have the crowd hype, they have the veteran presence on offense to get the job done. I think for whatever reason this is a down game for people. I don't necessarily think it's just because Utah's defense locks them up. Just one of those games that Malik can't find it, Jordan can't find it. Running game can't get going. So I just see this being the trap game that ASU falls to, and I don't think there's going to be another time later on in the season where we see this performance from Arizona State. But unfortunately, I
Is
just
it like
feel
our
like
is it like our
Utah.
Cincinnati game of last year?
Yes.
Listen,
this is
listen,
how
listen.
I feel about this.
So when I was alluding to momentum after a loss,
Okay.
I feel like this is the type of team that responds well when everyone turns their back on them. So I think that's going to convey your point where they just lost to TCU. They come into Salt Lake City, and you really think they're going to lose another?
No, they're not going to lose
Absolutely
back to back
not.
games.
Absolutely
it's just not
not.
happening. It's just not happening.
So at that point, I really like ASU and Salt Lake City because this is a dynasty at this point. We are no longer the doormat of Utah, the doormat of the Pac-12, Big 12. No, this is a dynasty in the making. Utah is ahead of its time, or let's say behind
No,
its
it's
time.
behind.
Behind its
It's more
time.
behind.
Yeah, behind its
Especially
time.
in Cam
It's
Rising.
their prime in terms of their identity, their confidence in that identity is far from gone. They had a lot more skilled players last year. Their only good quality about this team is their offensive line. That's it.
Caleb Lomu, Highland legend. He's on that offensive line. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to pick a W for Arizona State in this
All right, now
game.
we are all at 5-1.
5-1, all
So what do
tied
you,
up.
now,
and
guys,
this
real
is the
quick,
game.
what do we say our ranking is?
At this point,
For me, I think we're
think
back
we're
at
number
like
9.
12.
yeah,
think
probably because you have
And
us coming off
we
two
lost
straight
to
wins.
Utah as the number 6 team, we're dropping out of the top 10. So we'd have to be bigger over that.
I don't know. Again, you also don't know what else the rest of the teams in the conference
Yeah.
and the top 10 are going to
Yeah.
look like after that.
That's a
So
good
it's-
point. I'm
it's
going to
hard
have us
say.
somewhere in the 20s. One loss to a TCU team
That's a
is he-
bad loss, though. If we
It-
lose
it-
to TCU at home, yeah, I would expect us in the 20s.
To be
Yeah.
honest,
Or
I don't
or
wanna be
18 to 16.
well, and that's the thing. But it's even worse
But if we lose
to
to Baylor, no, if
or
we lose to Baylor,
Utah,
that's a good loss. That's a good loss you have. You're starting to bounce back from it. We probably drop down to 16, 17, work our way up to 14. Now we're at 12.
Well, I also
beating
I
Utah
think
on
it's
the road.
just as bad as both because of the conference games losing them. I think what matters the least is that honestly the
No
TCU
one's gonna
game.
go
I think what matters the
unscathed.
most is losing and getting that taste out of your mouth early.
Yeah,
No,
no team is going unscathed in the Big 12 this year. One conference loss isn't going to ruin anything for anyone.
Honestly,
Fair enough.
yeah, because I'm a little worried about another game. But we'll get
Are you
there.
talking about the next game against Texas Tech?
Nope. I
Not
think that's,
worried?
we're walking in that trap. I'm hoping that's a college game day, guys.
ASU.
I wish
Let's
it would have been
pray.
parent weekend.
Let's pray it's
Me
college
too.
game day.
That's the we're playing at home.
Yes,
If-
against
and
Texas Tech.
If
Why
you
is
look
that
at
not
Texas,
parent
if
weekend?
you look at Texas Tech's schedule, I think they will be undefeated or with one loss by that point. I think this might be a college game day. And if we are undefeated by that time, this will be a college game day.
It's up
Yeah.
to Pat. Pat, please make your way to the Big
Where are they
12,
playing?
man.
Their
yeah,
first
they're
three games?
playing Utah, Houston, Kansas.
Okay, so yeah.
Oregon
Juan
State
Soto
is
home run.
probably maybe on the tough run of the competition, and
So
that's
they could
nothing.
probably lose to Kansas, but they could be undefeated
yeah,
going
yeah.
into Tempe.
Texas,
Yep.
I mean, also
And
too,
if we
not
have
to-
one loss, college game day.
It's college game day because that game will probably tilt Big 12
immediate
standings by a
W.
lot.
We
Taking the
don't
kick,
lose on
bro.
college game day. This is Tempe, Arizona. We get turned, and we would not put out a bad product on that kind of
Nope.
day.
I'm
Nope.
taking the kick, Pat. I've always talked bad on kickers,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a good kicker this
especially
year.
last year.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
the best. We have a top 10 kicker in the league right now. Jesus Gomez.
Good.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Who was it? Sorry.
He's from Eastern Michigan.
Was it Ian Hershey?
Ian
last
Hershey.
year? Oh my god!
I don't even know that
what
name
a
anymore.
guy.
I'm probably gonna see his LinkedIn somewhere.
I
Highland
forgot,
Hawk
dude.
alumni.
When
Highland-
he's serving me at Waffle House someday, I'll be like, I do recall.
Just
when-
like Aaron.
Tell me some stories,
no one
big
knows
guy.
who that guy is.
no, I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
That was unnecessary.
What are your guys' takes on Texas Tech coming into Tempe?
Yeah, Texas Tech. It's going to be a tough game, but we saw Arizona State last year repeatedly live up to the moment. We saw against BYU. We saw against Texas, even though the
Utah.
game. Even Utah, Texas, even though that game didn't go our way, Arizona State was
Even
in the thick
Kansas.
of it. Kansas as well. They rose to the occasion.
UCF looked really good.
Kansas State, UCF.
RJ Harvey ran all over us last year.
Yeah, and they were still able to come back
Mm-hmm.
and secure a win based off some clutch plays, at the end of the second half. End of the first half, sorry. And they were able to propel themselves. Big games. Arizona State has routinely played well. Give me a W
Guys,
in Texas.
I kind of
against
want to
Texas Tech.
I want to sidetrack here.
Okay.
With all this talent in Texas Tech and all this hype, why do they always come short? What is your guys' opinion on it?
Why do
What,
they
why
always come
Texas
short?
Tech comes
Because
short?
Texas teams, just generally for the last maybe 5 years,
That's a good
of,
take.
outside of TCU,
TCU is the only one.
have really struggled. You look at Texas. Texas wasn't as dominant in the Big 12 as they want people to believe. Now they're in the SEC and they fared well last year, of course. But
Even then, they had the weakest SEC schedule last year.
yeah, Texas
They got lucky.
is just routinely overrated, and that's probably the case with Texas Tech again. Just being in the
Horns
Lone
down.
Star State gives you a little extra respect that you don't exactly have to earn.
Horns down.
Horns down.
Horns down.
So, guys,
down.
I think that's a great point that you made. I think Texas schools, with all the talent, I think what they're missing is that buy-in identity, right? Like, you have to be original. And I'm not ever seeing a product where I'm like, man, that I want to resonate with that team. Like, the only one that would come close right now is Baylor for me. Like, I like that team. I like what they're doing. But every other team, it's like, oh, TCU, they just got talent. Texas Tech, they just got talent. But you're not really intimidated by it. Like if you're just saying, if we play disciplined ball, we can beat these types of teams. So that's why I like us running this game too.
I just like when it comes down to Texas teams. I think for me, it's always the offense that's always just a hard find. You know what I mean?
It's
I
either
think
they're like
lately
they
it's
make
been-
or break it. Yeah.
I think lately it's like Texas has produced obviously like Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden. Arch Manning looks like he's gonna be a potential Heisman candidate. Don't want to talk too early on.
but that's the only Texas quarterback they've ever had.
well
within the
there's
last-
also
but
Quinn,
since
Quinn
Vince
Ewers
Young-
also wasn't that bad.
No,
though.
no.
Like, you know what I
no.
mean?
Quinn Ewers is not a professional quarterback,
I mean, he did go undrafted. Very fair.
and he
To
is
my
not
knowledge.
translating at all. Like
No.
Vince Young is the last good Texas quarterback. At least Texas Tech has Mahomes to say, right?
Yep.
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, he was at Nebraska last night
And left.
Yeah,
Which
Travis
isn't a big
Kelce
deal.
and
He wanted to
Taylor
avoid the
Swift.
traffic.
Yeah, Taylor Swift was also there. So
Who cares? Who cares?
She actually popped
Give us
up-
your prediction for
Oh, yeah,
Texas
sorry.
Tech.
Texas Tech. It's really hard for me to say, but I do think this is going to be a win. But I think this is our first OT game of the season. I think this is an OT game that Arizona State wins.
Ooh, that's a good
Because
one.
I think I'm really excited for this game for a multitude amount of reasons, and it's not because I think ASU is going to play bad ball. I just think Texas is going to play
respond.
great ball.
They're going to respond.
Exactly. And I
Baron
think-
Morin's going to have those post routes open, and we're going to be pissed about it.
I just think that Brian. You guys know my thoughts on Brian Ward. I do not like him as a defensive coordinator.
Wait,
we are
what?
never getting an interview now. That sucks.
I'm
Wait, no,
sorry.
actually, I don't think
I
you
am
know
not a-
ball anymore
I-
then.
no,
yeah, bro, you don't like Brian Ward?
I don't like it because, dude, it showed in Texas.
not?
It showed in Texas how much of a bad DC he
It was
was.
one play.
No, not
and
even.
it was
And
on
it was
not
even.
his special team.
And it was
Not-
4th and
that's not the
13.
special teams
And if
fault. It's
anything,
not the
Oh, we're
one
talking
I'm
about the
talking
last play?
Yes, I'm
Listen,
talking about
listen,
the way
dude.
you weren't able to get stuff done in
Dillingham,
OT.
Dillingham okayed it. They wanted to blitz Ewers on
It's
the last
okay,
play.
but it's not Kenny. That's not on Kenny. That's on Brian. That is a
No.
Brian Ward error.
So he
I
made
don't
one
like his-
mistake, so he's not a good defensive
No,
coordinator.
Yeah, that's
that's not what I'm
terrible
saying.
logic.
That's a horrible
I
take.
think that Brian Ward's second half defense last year was by far some of the most atrocious stuff I've seen in the league.
No,
What are you
every
talking about?
every second. No, it was their first quarter that was always
No,
bad,
it was
and then they
the
always
second-
got better as the
second-
game went on.
Second half defense did not know
Name
how
the
to
game
do
that you're
stuff.
thinking of.
Yeah.
that, like,
Every game, Kansas.
Not Texas, because the defense played well in the second half against Texas.
Kansas, Utah. I
No.
can say the same thing about BYU. I could say the same thing about
Not
almost-
Utah.
BYU.
Kansas,
Yeah.
sure. BYU, yeah, but those were some good offenses.
Of course, but the defense
And
not
it was
being
a
able to
splash
keep it up.
play in BYU
the
that got him close, just one
the
splash
defense
play.
is not
Yeah.
able to keep up a full solid game of
So,
defense.
okay,
last
so
year.
you don't
If
think it had
he can
anything-
change my mind. Brian Ward can easily change my mind here, and we can
Okay.
play great defensive ball throughout the entirety of a game. Then I like Brian Ward again. But until I see that, I can't like Brian Ward. Not as a DC. Because there were so many instances where we should have just locked out games, and I'm not saying sure a defense should have let up, but to play as sloppy as we did, even being ahead by a couple of scores, that should not happen as a DC. And
Some
I
of the
will stand
It's
on
called
business.
players, bro.
Yeah,
It's
some
not
of the
on
personnel
players,
It's
just
called-
wasn't
it's
there.
It's called Javen or Keith Abney being mismatched on a
And
6'4"
it's
Every
And who
receiver.
is
single
that
time.
on? DC.
But who did he have to replace them?
I'm not saying he should have had them replace double team coverage, run zone. Don't run man on post routes you know that are going to happen.
Listen.
That was a big thing on Brian Ward last year.
You're looking at it one dimensionally because our D line is the best in the Big 12. And that is because of Brian Ward. Our linebacker core is
And
one of
the
the best in the Big
takeaways.
12 because
I will get
of
to that. Hold up.
takeaways is the biggest
Takeaways.
component.
Of course,
every
we are
Brian Ward
volatile.
led
My
defense.
issue isn't the middle linebacker unit, nor is it the defensive line. My issue is our secondary right now that doesn't know how to keep up with players. I am not a secondary person. I am not
It's
a
an
person that stands
undermanned
with Brian
secondary.
Ward's
It's
secondary.
an undermanned secondary.
But Brian needs to know what type of plays to be running there. We have a 4-3 defense. There is no reason we should be running man coverage on like a 3rd and 16. There is no reason to be running a man coverage play right there. It's the same thing in the Texas game. It is the same thing every time we saw ASU in OT versus Texas. It's the same thing we saw in Kansas. I don't like Brian Ward's secondary. I think he can play better with it. And I also think that the nickel unit, and anytime we line up in dime, when you have middle linebackers playing over the middle, that's the best thing you can do if you're Brian Ward. We saw it in the first couple games of the season, and then he ditched the entire idea. And Brian Ward, to me, will not be
because
a
they
good
started
DC
getting
till he
more
fixes
exposed.
it.
Zyrus isn't a pass defender. Keyshawn isn't known for his pass defense. Jordan Crook ended up being our best player on pass defense. He didn't come until the second half of the season. And then by that time, he was already worn down because we were asking him to stop the run too much. The only bad thing about Brian Ward is his inability to cover inside routes. And that is what we've been practicing on because all they're doing right now is making sure that they can
We're
do a
talking about
man-in-man.
practice?
They're going to
Practice.
do man-on-man really well this year. I'm very confident of that because you have Keith Abney going up against Jordan Tyson every single day of the summer camp. You have Xavier Alford as a top 1st to 2nd to 3rd round pick next year. You have Ghost Rouser, who is a bona fide. Bonafide. And Xavier Alford has Brian Branch potential.
Listen, I completely agree with some of the points you're making, but again, like Cyrus is a pass first defender. He is that middle linebacker that lines up.
Cyrus?
Of course,
He's a run defender.
No, he's not.
Just because he had a pick six against Wyoming doesn't make him a pass.
That's not what I'm saying. Put him in the nickel. Put him in the dime. He's a guy that's going to cover the numbers up front. Really well. He did it the whole time last year. What are we talking about?
No, he did it. Not the whole time.
You just said that they didn't play that way.
They didn't play that well, but Cyrus being in a middle linebacker situation and nickel and dime, covering the upfront numbers was the best thing. That's what I said Brian Ward ditched last year.
I'm cutting you off.
Yeah,
here.
we don't have pass defense.
We don't have pass defense. I'm cutting you off because we do need to move on.
Of course. It doesn't matter in college
Are we
football.
going to cover NAU? Are we going to cover NAU? Because if we keep yapping about Brian Ward, we're never going to be able to talk about NAU. So let's make it through the rest of the schedule.
Thank God we have Brian Ward. Jesus.
Yes, I'm happy.
He's the only guy who can play with 2 5'10" cornerbacks and have a good defense.
Dude,
he's the only guy. Any other DC would be like, I have 2 5'10" cornerbacks. What do you expect? Brian Ward doesn't do that.
What?
Dude, they're great at turnovers and they can rush the passer.
Because
they're playing with the cards that they're dealt. And we're
Exactly.
leaving it there.
Yeah,
we're leaving
that's
it there.
exactly our identity
You're not
is.
gonna,
No. Stop. He was actually that was a great point.
Thank you.
The cards that are being dealt right now are what we have to play.
Brian
with.
Ward
takeaways. Brian Ward did I will say this. Brian Ward did do what he was saying he wanted to do at the start of last season,
and it won us games.
Go back and get the turnovers. But again, those turnovers were mostly when we played middle linebackers up the middle, or what we were doing is having our D line play up front and blitz house.
Texas State won because of the defense. Kansas State won because of the defense. All right. BYU won because of the defense.
Disagree.
The offense couldn't do anything in the second half.
Utah won because of the defense. Caleb McCullough, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that. But I'm also saying there's a multitude of games where our defense lacked in
Are
the
you
second
mad
half.
because we didn't win the national championship last year?
No, that's not
Is that the only thing that would make you like Brian Ward?
No.
We played all pros. We played all pros. We lost the game with an all pro.
No, I'm saying the issue with our defense is we don't know how to play second half defense. We saw it in almost every game.
And that's why we won all our games.
And we didn't. The reality is our offense didn't know how to keep momentum going. That's what it was. Every single game, the offense was off the field in the first 30 seconds of a drive, and then now the defense is on the field for 10 minutes and a quarter.
Yeah. And the defense can't keep up with that. That's what I'm saying.
The only thing
that's not Brian Ward's fault.
Their defense, they don't start off good. Their first quarter defense is a little bit lackadaisical, but they always get better in the second quarter, and they always perform better.
Okay, we got to move on. Let's start rapid firing these. It's later in the season. We have no clue what will be going on at this point, so let's go a little quicker because I do want to devote some time to NAU. Houston, what are you guys feeling about Houston? That's parent weekend, and Houston's just frankly not going to be very good. W?
I think they'll be better because they do have a good quarterback.
Yeah, better than last year, which was one of the worst in the Big 12.
Yeah, no, I really just don't see us losing a home game this year, guys. If we did it last year with a worse team, then why wouldn't we do it again this year with a better team and an easier schedule?
Yeah, I don't know if the schedule is easier, but...
Okay, home games. Yeah. BYU, Utah, UCF, Kansas.
But Utah didn't end up being very good.
Okay.
We just didn't know it at the time.
And that's what we're going to say about Houston, too. That's what we're going to say about TCU, too.
No, that's not what we're going to say because we don't think Houston's good. That's what we might say about Texas Tech.
And I don't think TCU is going to be good either.
Okay.
I think it's a win though at home.
It's a win. We all agree it's a win.
Yeah.
We all agree it's a win. Let's move on to Iowa State. This is probably the last premier matchup of the season. Iowa State faced off against Arizona State in the Big 12 championship last year. Arizona State put belt to ass.
Yeah, they can't stop our run game.
Yeah, it's just not happening. Good quarterback, decent wide receivers, not as good as last year, but.
Can I say something real
quick?
Go
for it.
Did you guys see Iowa State's run game against KSU?
I wasn't able to watch the full game.
So
or
I think his name. This year.
I didn't get to watch the whole game.
Matchup.
Yeah.
I think his name's Chad Hansen. That guy, man. I was a little scared of. I don't know if it was because that was how bad KSU's defense was, but dude. He could run.
But that's how the Baylor's running backs are too. They have really good 2 RBs. So with Iowa State, Sama and the white guy, and it's going to be the same with
Oh,
Baylor,
I
Brian
like that.
Washington, and Pendergrass.
I have to see how they play, bro. I
So,
have to see how they play.
Really,
Yeah.
I think this is a steamroll over Iowa State. I'm so sorry, Iowa State, but
Yeah, they steamrolled them last year, and it was
Yeah.
the Big 12 championship.
Yeah,
Iowa State
and
didn't deserve to be there. We all know that.
Tyson Brown had good games.
Yeah,
Sam Leavitt had
yeah.
good
I think-
games. Our defense played well. It's just we won't lose that.
I think ASU wins this game too, but I will say after watching what I watched from Iowa State versus KSU, their run game I think will get through early on. I think we learn how to
Stop it in the second quarter and second half,
hopefully,
right?
Hopefully,
Play better defense.
Hopefully, that's if that
Hopefully.
happens this year because I don't think it will.
Okay, let's
But-
move on. West Virginia,
Dub.
W.
With
Dub.
Rich Rodriguez, guys, coming in, a little bit hype. It's a home game though.
It's
So
a
we'll
W.
win
It's
it.
a
We'll
W.
win it.
It's a W.
But
This
that
is
one, I
what-
think, will be the closest home game. I do like your take on Texas Tech OT.
Yeah, I think
But I
Texas
think
Tech's
West
OT.
Virginia has more to prove. Like they would put us in like a Kansas ASU game from last year.
I think
Okay.
Texas Tech's got more to prove, to be honest with you. A team that's got
They
very
do,
high expectations.
but it's going to be
they
college
need to
game day,
perform.
and it's going to be belt to ass.
I don't know.
BTA.
We'll have to see.
We have to
BTA.
to
Are we
be on
allowed
game
to
day.
say it?
Dude, it's our podcast.
I guess so. I guess it's our
Colorado. Colorado is not the same team as last year.
Yep.
You think
This
they're-
is going to be a loss.
Do you think it's going to be a loss?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Colorado gets better as the season goes on. I think they're going to have a lot of identity at this point of the season. And really, it's just one of those where it's going to be a flashy game. We're down 3 scores early, and we'll try to come back, and we'll be short.
So you think that's
sucks.
their second loss of the season?
Yep.
And I assume probably their last loss of the season? Wow. Against Colorado.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think Dion just learns how to work with a bad team, a worse
Mm.
team than last year.
no,
I
it's
think-
it's a better team.
Whoa.
Better
It's
team.
way better.
Better team than
I-
last year. They
way
lost. They lost.
better.
They lost a
They
top
lost their
5
wide
pick.
receiver 1 and 2, their DB
He's a top 5
their
pick 'cause of
starting
the name.
QB, and their entire, literally like half of their D line.
No, they didn't. They actually
Or was
got
it their
better.
O-line?
They got better in their trenches, a lot better. And their right side is all revamped. One of them's a Tennessee right tackle. The other one was a right guard transfer. Their whole O-line's revamped. The new running
it's
back
the
room,
O-line that's
wide
gone.
receiver room revamped. They have a good D line.
Oh,
their D linemen.
This is a new team, though. Like my argument
it's gonna
behind
be
Colorado
100%
is that
different.
It's going to be a new team, but it's not going to
and
be a
we
better
don't know
team.
anything about Caden Slater. He's a really good quarterback out of Liberty. I do think he's gonna get better as the season gets on.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to spend too much time on these teams because we don't know where Colorado is going to be. Based
Last.
off what I know
No,
now,
yeah, that's why I'm just super excited for tonight.
yeah, based off what I know right now and what I think right now, I'm going to give us a W at Colorado. You as well, Kai. Now we move on to the Territorial Cup, and that's more BTA. It's going to be a repeat
Except
of
when
last year.
Barstool Arizona actually predicted us to lose to U
Oh
of
no,
I.
I'm sorry. I lost. I have a
No,
loss.
he has a
versus
loss for Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you-
think I
okay.
do think that they will be.
You're
a
gonna have us
decent
going
team, but not
11 and
good
1.
enough.
We're going 10 and 2.
Yeah, 10
Yep.
and 2 is
So
my
to
thought.
to fall to TCU, man, that's tough.
Especially the
It's gonna
Territorial
be-
Cup. What a game is that going to be?
It'll be BTA and Tech.
It'll be BTA, just like last year.
That's
Me
what
and
I'm
Trevor
saying.
were
It'll-
bored.
And by that time, here's my hot take: the U of A head coach will be fired by then.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
he won't
because
get fired
if
till
they
the
have
end of
like
the
3
year.
wins by that time, they're gonna be like, "All right, man, I don't even want you to play ASU right now. Like, just leave."
And
Shout
this
out-
time, hey, U of A fans, I'm talking to you. I'm throwing hot dogs at you because of
Damn.
what you did last year to me and Trav.
That was
dude.
crazy.
They were throwing hot dogs at us.
What?
We are doing the same
There
thing
was
to
a
you.
lot of fights.
Don't sit in me and Trev's section. We're throwing hot dogs.
Also, I want to just say a quick shout out to McMillan. I hope you do good on the Panthers. I'm not even.
Wait. Do you actually think that he's gonna be good?
What are we talking
Do
about?
you think any wide receiver is going to be good? You just said that you don't think Golden's going to be good either. So what? So
yeah.
what?
You don't
what-
think the top receiver in the draft class from this past year is going to be good?
Didn't you know that it's Travis Hunter?
Okay. Second
Yeah, it's
best.
kind of hard.
McMillan
No,
is going
Travis
to be,
Hunter isn't the best wide receiver.
McMillan is going to be awesome though. I don't think he'll be awesome. So amazing that we're calling him like Jerry Rice, but I think that him
What?
working with a better QB.
I think
than-
he's too undisciplined.
I think he's awesome. What are we talking about?
He was great for bad U of A teams. We'll see how that translates.
were against New Mexico.
We'll see how that translates to the NFL. That does not matter. We're all predicting a W against Arizona. if I'm
All right,
catching
so
your guys'
either way,
drift.
Full
guys,
recap.
we are eligible for a Big 12 championship.
Yep. Regardless, all of us are saying it.
Because
that's the
my
expectation.
two teams that I lose to, there's no way Colorado has a better record than us, or Texas Tech is, or no, not Texas
Baylor.
Tech. Baylor has a better record than us, unless they have one loss.
Yeah.
There's no way they escape. They'll have 3 losses no matter what on their season.
Yeah.
And 2 of them will be Big 12 schools, and they're going to lose to SMU.
Okay, real quick, I know we're doing like our full week predictions and everything, but I do have a question that I wanted to ask you guys on air. So if this is our ceiling, right? Say 10-2, you're saying 11-1.
Ceiling's 11-1.
11-1 is the ceiling.
Floor is always going to be 10-2 at this point. We're a good team.
9-3.
Realistically,
9-3.
what do you think our floor is?
No. I
9-3,
realistically think
our
our floor
floor?
is 10-2 because you can't get into the playoff as 9-3. That would be a disappointing
floor-
season if we go 9-3.
I think it could be. I think our floor could be just as big as like 7-5.
No.
Whoa.
Terrible season.
Name the 5.
We are too good.
No, and
There's
it's
not 5
it's
losses
not-
on the
Yeah.
schedule.
I agree. I don't think there's worth 5 losses on the schedule, but
A floor
I
isn't
do
like a
wanna
worst
say-
case scenario. A floor is like you're applying realistic
get it, but also, too,
expectations
like-
and trying to be like, okay, if they do worse than this,
No, I
they
get
will
it.
be unsatisfied.
I get it. But I am saying that I do think the floor, we could easily lose a game against Baylor. We can easily lose a game against Texas Tech. We can also maybe see Josh Hoover completely have an insane game with TCU.
Wow.
We could also see another big game on the road, too. Maybe Mississippi State is that SEC school, even though they're bottom feeder. Like going on the way, who knows? I'm just saying that I think
And then
that there's-
Colorado?
I
You-
think Colorado is going to be a loss also, but also
Okay,
like,
so it's
you can
those
swap out
5.
Mississippi State too for. Sorry, I just want to look at the schedule again.
TCU maybe? No.
I want to say West Virginia too,
Okay.
having stuff to prove. Like there's a good chance we could lose a lot of games this year based on trying to find new offense.
I don't think
trying
there's
to
a
find
good,
Okay,
I
but
don't think there's a
listen.
good
I don't think there's a good chance. I am
Listen,
sorry.
there's
let me
a
rephrase. Let me
chance,
rephrase. There's
certainly.
a chance
Now.
but I also don't want to put expectations so
A
high
team
for the roof right
with
now.
a returning amazing defense, an all Big 12 defense, and a team with a first round receiver and potential first round quarterback. To have us lose more than 4 losses is blasphemy.
You don't think there's a chance he's a first round quarterback?
No, I'm just saying I want to see what Levitt does the next 2 seasons before I say that.
But we're going 8-4.
Like right now, he could.
we wouldn't ever be worse than 8-4.
But that's what I'm saying.
8-4 is a bad season as well.
I think
Yeah,
no, of course,
8-4 doesn't get you
I'm-
into the Big 12
I
championship.
completely agree.
Oh hell
I'm just
no.
saying that
We're
if we
fucking
do go 8,
Alamo Bowl.
if we do go Pop
Tony the
Bowl.
Tiger Bowl. bro.
Honestly,
No,
bro.
again, but
the Relic Quest.
I'm not saying I see us going 8-4. I am saying that I think that is the floor. I think that is the bottom line floor.
All right, let's talk about NAU. Good take, Kai. I'm not cutting you off. We do got to finish.
you're
We
good,
got to
you're
wrap this up. We'll make NAU short.
All right. So for week 1, we have the Arizona State Sun Devils hosting a Big Sky Conference Northern Arizona Lumberjack team in which they come off a season where they went just as well undefeated in the Dome at home as we did undefeated in Tempe. We are starting off week 1 with a bang because a lot of people who aren't familiar with ball believe this is an interstate rivalry, and I get a lot of enjoyment telling them that this is going to be BTA because that is a Division II school. Now, what
FCS.
we have from Brian Wright, Coach Brian Wright of NAU, we have words of a great quarterback in Ty Pennington and a returning defense. So a lot of similarities with the ASU retention rate, but more importantly, I think that Ty Pennington is going to be a passing quarterback in this game, and they are going to air raid this game out. And within every single game of last year of Ty Pennington's 2024 season, he always had a longer pass than 21 or over yards. So with that being in mind, every single game, that consistent air raid element, I think Ty Pennington is going to come guns a-blazing. Guys, I think we need to expect a competitive first half.
Competitive first half,
Yes.
and then it goes BTA.
In the third.
If you remember, when
And
was the
second
last
half.
time they played NAU? The last year of Herm Edwards' tenure, right before that Eastern Michigan game.
Really?
And they absolutely cooked NAU in that game. Let me pull up. You guys talk for me. I'm gonna look up what that.
Good. I think this is going to be an exciting game, not because of just how bad it's going to be for NAU, but more or less exciting for us as fans. You know, having the season opener be at home. It's going to be a fun one for Arizona State. I know all 3 of us are going. I do think that this is going to be an even better watch for a multitude of reasons, and one of which being to see how good Kenny Dillingham does with this offense. I'm excited to see, Kyson Brown really trying to step up in the big spot as the RB1. I want to see really Brown, too, in a lot of plays. I think he needs to get involved early, too, to try and establish some sort of run game because I think Kenny needs to get that working first. I'm sure Kenny is very, very, very aware of the wide receiving room he has. I'm sure he's going to try to make some plays work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think knowing how good your receiving room is, you want to also try to still balance things in the run game. I think we'll see a lot of runs early on in the first half, and then we see the passing game heat up in the second half.
Good keys to watch.
Yeah.
One of my favorite key to watch. I want to see yak. I want to see yards after catch with these receivers.
Yeah.
I don't want to just see it from Jordan Tyson. I already know what to expect with that kind of guy, but we have a lot of newcomers. You know, I really want to see
Malik McClain.
Malik McClain, he had his practice squad experience and then came in and balled out in the Big 12 championship and then proved himself really valuable. But we have new players, Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Moss. I'm really excited we have Noble Johnson, who maybe we'll see some PT from him if this is a blowout. But really, I want to see yak, and I want to see plays that are also creating yak. This is on Marcus Arroyo, guys. Every time you watch an NFL preseason game, you're looking at the play calls, right? You're looking at how the OC is calling the game with whichever quarterback he has. It is the same thing with right now. I want to see Arroyo make plays, give us offensive plays that set up these receivers for yak opportunities, and I want to see them convert and deliver. And more importantly, I can't deny I would love to see a 100-yard rusher tomorrow.
All right. 2022, September 1st, Arizona State took on Northern Arizona in Tempe and won 40-3. That was the third to last game of Herm Edwards' tenure. And that's kind of what we're dealing with when you're not playing with Arizona,
but a
Northern
lot's
Arizona.
Changed. Now I feel like college football has changed so much within the last 4 years.
I
This
get that.
NAU team can just play cover 2 and try to double team Jordan Tyson. They're going to try to force us to beat him through the run. There are ways where we can sink, really.
Sink but not lose, right?
Sink or swim.
Yes, but sinking is bad. Because if you have too many leakages, then you can lose.
Is that a real word?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it is. It is.
Leakages.
Yeah, we got a leakage on the ship, Captain.
I don't know.
Leakages?
I don't know if that's the plural personification behind
Leakages.
it. Leakages. Well, I don't know what's
There's leakages. Okay.
This can't be like the one talk we had
Listen,
last year.
we don't have Scattaboo anymore, so we don't have that guy who can just bully a lesser opponent, right?
I mean, it could be like this year. It could be Mater if he really learns how to catch a football.
He's nice, and he has a lot of tight end screens in this playbook, and I'm really excited for him and Kamari Anderson. I think what we need to expect are yak opportunities, some really good screenplay calls, and I want to see Marcus Arroyo get these guys confident.
Wow.
No,
You guys are chat GPTing leakages, acting like I don't know.
my fault.
I've never heard anyone use
I don't
that.
know word ball, bro.
Yeah,
sorry, I don't do word.
How
heard
would you
that.
How would you pluralize
Leakage?
leakage?
Like there's
We
a lot
have
of
many
leakage.
leaks.
Yeah,
we
like,
have
there's
many
a lot of
leaks across the ship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just
Or
never
like
heard
our
anyone say
opponent's
leakages.
Leak-
like leaking.
To
you know?
leak. To leak is a verb, right?
There's a
then
lot of leaking on the ship, coach.
Leakage is an adjective, so you have to add just the S to leakages.
Well, that's in my next journal piece I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, just talking about the
This
plural
team is
Alright.
leaking.
Guys,
leakages.
now the
team's
question
leakages.
is, are we going to cover the spread?
30-point spread?
This is
I think
BTA,
so.
right?
Easily.
Easily.
I have NAU
What?
losing by more than 30 points. Come on now. Come on now. We got
Let's go, Trav.
we got Ty Pennington going ahead for a 7-0. NAU is up. All of Twitter is going to be roasting the Sun Devils. We might look bad in the first quarter. Second quarter, boom, we have one splash play, and then everything starts to get going. I think we are up 2 possessions by halftime. Third quarter, it's a wrap.
Give
There
me
we go.
ASU by 100.
Give me ASU. I'm going to go. Let's think about it. What are we
doing
What are we
official score
saying?
predictions?
No, we can just say whether they're going to
Yeah, score predictions.
score
Okay.
predictions.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because we always do that. We have to
Yeah.
see who gets
I guess
closest.
that's fair. That's fair.
We do, because we got a couple of them were on the money last year. We were off by like a
Yeah.
point or two.
Yeah.
I know. I was hella close with the territorial cup score. I remember I was like,
You weren't even on that podcast.
No,
it was me
I
and
know, but we did.
We did
No,
that
but
by
we did that.
ourselves.
Oh no, I think it
Bro,
was the City. It was the City. I'm sorry.
Anytime you instinctually text us something, like, and he's like not involved, no skin in the game, you're usually right, bro.
Yeah.
Like you had some really good players.
What was the? Remember the recap I sent you where I was like Scatabo 100 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it
all
all hit.
hit.
It all hit. I was like, oh my gosh, I got that. I should
All
have bet
right,
on it.
my guess is that we win 38-7. We let them score in the first quarter, and then they don't touch the end zone
Only
again.
38.
You're not ready for this. 30-3 is my prediction.
Woo!
30-3 is my prediction. It'll be rough.
That's tough.
It'll be rough.
They have a
Anybody
good
betting
good
over,
offense.
anybody betting over is going to be very sad, but it's
They
going to
have
be
a good
30-3.
offense.
It's going to be 30-3. ASU has a good defense.
I think it's going to be 60-7, bro. to be
Okay,
honest.
dude,
I'm
like,
sorry.
just
I'm
Oh
stop.
just
my
kidding. I don't- I
god!
think
Just stop.
This is not
Just stop.
Alabama
I'm
hosting
sorry. I
Mercer,
think
bro.
this is-
Stop,
I
Kai.
think the final-
No, he was trying to make a stupid joke, and it wasn't even funny. And we're just not letting that
I
happen.
don't watch TikTok enough.
Bro's unk, bro. No.
Yeah, we're
I
just
think
not letting
it's-
that happen. Give a real prediction.
I think my real prediction is 45-14.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, I could see them scoring 14 on us, but like just that's it.
But I also completely agree with that. By the way, we're gonna go down 7-0. All of Twitter's gonna be like, look at these bums.
Yeah.
And then
Be like
come back.
they keep 3 and outing. It's been 3 times already. What?
Yeah.
Their
I
season's
see it.
over. It's over
see
for
it.
This is
Arizona
the
State.
11th ranked team. We're 3 and outing all the time. Sam Levitt's supposed to be first rounder.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I love Sam Levitt, but I just think it's too early to say anybody on this team.
This is my
so
take.
far.
We have a better game.
Besides Tyson.
We have a better game against Mississippi State than Northern Arizona.
Whoa, that's not happening. Not for me. Not for me.
Me.
Not for me.
No, I
It
don't
has
think
to.
I
So
think
what do
the-
you
If
think?
you
So
wanna be a
just
true top 10 if you wanna be a true top 10.
38-7. So what's going to happen against Mississippi State?
No,
Yeah.
no. This is a different video. Different video.
Guys-
Okay, yeah, we do got to cut ourselves
Guys,
off.
if we really want to be a good team this year, a top 10 staple, you have to bully these teams. The only team that I would accept us losing to was Baylor by 3 points and Colorado but in a nail blighter, and that's it.
Nail blighter.
Nail
TCU.
blighter.
It's TCU.
Screw Sunny Dice. I would be pissed.
all I'm saying
I
is
would be
the
so
TC
pissed if we lost to TCU.
You were
TCU
pissed last
game?
year when we lost to Cincinnati.
But
Actually,
I knew it. I knew
you
it.
did
I wasn't
predict
that.
it. You did
I
predict
wasn't
it.
pissed. I was like upset that I knew it.
I think the one thing that was
Okay,
really
you were
funny.
you
to
were
me,
pissed when we lost to.
I wasn't pissed when we lost to Tech because it was preventable.
I was pissed we lost to Tech
I
because I
wasn't.
was so confident that on the road, back-to-back games in Texas, I thought
No, I
ASU
knew we
just
would
keep the
lose to that
turnaround
game.
going.
I called the Texas Tech game beginning of the season, and then I called Cincinnati beginning of the season.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Trav's just the man,
Baylor
guys.
and Colorado.
Trav's just the man. You
I
just got to
don't-
listen to what he says. If this is betting advice, legally,
Legally in the state
Like,
of Arizona, you cannot
hey,
bet
if
till
you
you're
would like to
21.
sign up for
However,
my-
Underdogs Fantasy,
If you would
please.
like to become my mentorship student, we are electing a Patreon.
yeah, dude.
we're setting up a Patreon now.
No, we're not.
Join
We
our
should-
Discord server.
Cut the tape.
Price
Cut
Picks
the
Underdog
tape.
Fantasy. Thank you guys so
All right,
much.
guys.
This is sponsored by them.
BTA, ASU.
Yeah.
Let's do this intercity rivalry. Let's go. Forks
Fork 'em.
up, baby.
Fork 'em,
We'll
baby.
see you guys on Saturday
Don't
at
forget to
the
go check out Kai's
Mount
Corner on Instagram,
America.
TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah, bro. Stop
Guys,
playing
bye.
yourself.
See you guys at the Mount America.
Make
Mount
sure, make
America.
sure you go and look at Travanci on Instagram too.
Mount America. You ever heard of the Mount America?
Okay, dude. Yeah, we're out of here.
Mount
Thank you guys so
America.
much. Okay,
I know.
Thank you so much for joining this podcast. It was a lot of fun making it, and we're glad to be back.
And we'll see you at Mount America.
Let's go,
Cut the tape, bro.
Mount America. Dude, that's hilarious. Mount America.